Welcome to Global Education webinar powered by Global Finance Board.
Introduce the accounts that are there according to the Global Finance Board. I'm going to give you some useful tips how to use that, and then we're going to have the activity and in the end questions and answers on anything you might have regarding the alignment of accounts. We can start to move on. Like the first, before we even talk about aligning the accounts, I want to tell a bit like why to do this and what's the end product of accounting. So the end product of accounting is, of course, the financial statements. So that's what we're gonna get in the end after we done our bookkeeping. And the financial statements will tell you how is your financial situation. So in the financial statements, we have the income statement, first of all, which is the presentation of your revenues and expenses. So the income statement is usually formed over a financial term. It's usually 1 year, and it's basically telling how was your performance during that year. So when you think about the income statement, it will tell you if you had more expenses than revenues, then you made loss and your financial performance was not that good. And what else accounts are there in the expenses and revenues? So we have the revenue accounts, for example, GEW revenues from your partners, revenues from sponsors or other partners, investment revenues from shares, whatever you have that's actually bringing money in. And then we have the expenses, which can be the rent of an office or rent of an apartment, any marketing materials you might buy if you are gonna organize a promotion event or have to pay salaries for the MC. All those are expenses, and then they are accumulated in the end of the financial term as the income statement telling your performance. And other type of financial information is the balance sheet. So balance sheet is reporting your assets, liabilities, and equity at a specific point of time. So that's the difference between income statement and balance sheet. Balance sheet can be, for example, representing the situation of a certain day. So that's the difference. And in the balance sheet, we have our assets, which can be cash, what's in your bank account, receivables from partners. All those things are the assets. Assets are the things that you actually have, that you own. And then on the other side of the balance sheet, you have information how you have financed those assets. And you can finance the assets with liabilities or with equity. And liabilities are something that you owe to another, that you have to pay back. For example, rents or salaries or loans to a bank, it's something you have to pay back. But then equity is the retained earnings from previous years that you don't have to pay back. And always needs to be equal accounts, equal liabilities plus equity. And you can think about it in a way that if you pay back all the liabilities, it's only equity left. So equity tells truly how much you are worth. So that's and all this information is coming out of your accounts. So when you think about accounting, it's all of these accounts together gonna form the financial information. And when we talk about financial information at the end part of accounting, it's also important who is using this information. So the users of your financial information, the people reading your financial information, can be external or internal. So you're gonna produce the information for these parties. And externals can be bank partners, shareholders of your debt, or anyone outside ISEC who's reading your information. And then internal is mainly for analyzing a situation and decision making. For example, EP to make decisions, or the EP to analyze success. You can analyze your financial success based on financial information. So that's the end product of accounting. So the reason why you even do accounting is to produce this information that these users are gonna use to make data-driven decisions. So the next topic is the alignment of accounts. And the alignment of accounts meant that everyone is using the same account, same account names. So when checking for other entity, we're gonna see that the account names are the same. So next we are gonna explain why to do the alignment of accounts. So the first thing why to do alignment of accounts is to standardize information. It's easier to compare the financial information of different entities and to enable benchmarking. For example, when I'm in Finland and I wanna find an entity that has the same financial situation as me, that I can get some advices from them, it's much easier for me if they use the same account name, that I can see that the information is comparable. If the other entity would be having a completely different accounts in their bookkeeping software, I really could not compare the financial information of we two. So that's why it's important to have the same accounts, that I can understand the good case practices from other entities once we report in the same style. And other reason is the scalability. So when everyone is using the same accounts all around the ISEC network, it's easy to copy the same system to an expansion and to provide the finance growth path of new entities. For example, we have an expansion in a country that has not had ISEC before, and now because we all use the same accounts, it's easier to copy the same accounting system to the expansion instead of they're creating completely their own accounts and own way of reporting. So that's another important thing why we are using the same accounts all around the ISEC global network. And any point you have questions, just type or raise the hand. I think you can raise the hand here in Adobe. So just if you have anything to comment or ask, you can do it anytime you want. Okay, and also I wanna tell a little bit about the connection to budget and reporting. So if you participated in the webinar yesterday, you learned that the budget is the numerical presentation of your action plan, and you set the targets of your expenses and revenues the same way as you set exchange targets. So remember that from yesterday. And your budget should have the same global finance board account as your accounting software. And why is this really important to have the same accounts in the budget and in the accounting system? It's because you need to compare those two. So if you do the budget with different accounts than are in your accounting software, then you really cannot compare those two to each other. So for example, when you have some revenues in your budget and then you see in the accounting software that it's not happening the way you planned, you can do some correcting moves. But if you have completely different accounts, then you can't even compare those to each other. So you cannot make any data-driven decision based on your accounting reports if they kind of speak different language than your budget. So that's why it's also important to have the same account name in both budget and in your accounting system. So this is the base why we are aligning the accounts. And next we are going to move on to which accounts are there in the global finance board system. So now it's Hien Tran. You're welcome.
Through the global finance board account. So for the first part, I'm gonna explain to you about how the global GFB account look like, and the second part I'm gonna give you some explanation, some description, and then we're gonna have a super interesting demonstration, like illustration with Excel. But again, you know that like the GFB account and the material related to GFB account is almost everywhere. So every single month you receive the information from our GFB chair or from our TL of controlling and BI. You're gonna see the like the consolidation report toolbox, or like any material that helping you. It's also available on on YouTube, like we explain every single account. So for this session, I'm gonna present to you a very quick, like a very brief and big picture, so that you can understand about the characteristic and how things work of the aligned GFB account and your entity account, so you can read carefully on the manual, on the guiding, or even on YouTube, like all the materials are available there for you. Okay, so for the first part, we're gonna go through about like how GFB account look like. So first, I would love to say that in any single system, we have code which is unique values that represent like the single values of any individuals, any items, or any creatures, and distinguish its like characteristic or personality with the others. For example, your national identity number is one of the value that created in within the system of so that the authorities or the parties or committees, they can manage people well. So it's the same as GFB, that we have created a system with a code, like a unique code, so that we have this account and it's the unique value compared to the other values. So the way that we have come up with the GFB code is constitution of the unique value. For example, the one that I have showed you is 71. We have GFB coding 22, and we have the type of account that we are currently using. So as previously we have mentioned, we have totally 5 types or 5 categories of account, which are asset, liability, equity, income, and expense. And the last part of GFB account is MC or LC, because currently within entity we have 2 layers of management. So that's how GFB account or like GFB code created or constituted. Okay, so come back to the part that we are going through. We're gonna have creating account in the accounting software. We have exporting account to Excel. We have reporting to GFB, and we have LC reporting. However, for this part, so currently, I think that most entity we using Wave. Yeah, we're using Wave as one of the suggested or like official accounting system. So in any single accounting system, we have a certain feature to to export the financial report, including let's say profit and loss statement and balance sheet statement, or we also call it statement of financial position. So you can, I think that you can easily find out the the export feature, so that you can get the statement. So after having the statement, you're gonna have like certain Excel file would reflect your financial report. However, what you need to do in the task of accounting alignment is to convert from your account, like your own chart of account or your own financial report, into the financial report that GFB needs, so that we can have like comparable financial report with consistent on around the entity, and we have like global number or something like that. So before coming to the simulation, I just want to tell you, to share with you this. Like any other chart or like any other system, we have certain units of measurement. For example, like currently we have 2 unit of measurement to measure the temperature, which is Fahrenheit and Celsius. So in any single thermometer, we have 2 units of measurement that display parallelly. So the same thing applies for GFB and your chart, like your own chart of account. Let me take the okay, so here, for example, currently here we have this column, which is your like the number in your own chart of account. So I assume that your chart of account is created with the description of the account and the number, and here like beside that we have parallelly the chart of account that created by GFB with the one of MC and the one of LC, and here is the description of the account. So for this one, you can easily, oh, we have newcomer, right? Well, okay, hello. Okay, I'm gonna continue. So we have description beside that. Okay, we have description beside the like certain account, so that we can really understand what the account is. So your task is like this one. I have done it before. So LC and MC gonna sit together to really see like what is okay. I have read the introduction from yourself, right? Okay, so I gotta continue. So you, let me get back. Okay, the task of LC and MC, like you guys should sit together to discuss and have finalized that what is like what type of expense, what type of income in your own chart of account is aligned with GFB chart of account. So usually it's gonna take around like 3 to 4 hours of discussion, and we can finalize this thing. After we finalize this thing, it's super simple, and the rest of the task is just doing some of the like technical things to have the report, and that's it. Okay, so for the next part, I gotta have a quick simulation with Excel, so that it can easier for all of you to imagine like what are you actually doing when you doing the task of account alignment with GFB report. So I gotta share my screen. Can you let me Hey Anh, can you help to Yeah, my Anh, can you help me to adjust to screen sharing? Hello. Hello, Mai Anh. Mang. Wait me for a while so that I can share my screen with Excel. Okay, so while waiting for mine to come, we're gonna have like I usually use 3 main functions in Excel to do this task. So the first one is VLOOKUP one. The second one, like some of other also use sorting function, but I rarely use it. We also have material available on YouTube about the sort function, so you guys can build there and see how we gonna do. But the one that I usually use is VLOOKUP, SumIf, and pivot table. So in this illustration, I gonna use these three functions. Okay, so welcome to the Excel spreadsheet that I have already. So for actually doing the GFB like alignment task, is it share? Okay. I see the set screen. So basically, the task is putting the number into, like, for example, you are currently doing the GFB report for quarter 3, or currently we encourage everyone to do the monthly report. Oh yes, the profit and loss is income statement. So usually we have two terminology. The profit and loss and income statement is parallelly, and the second one is balance sheet and the statement of financial position. Sometimes people also use the term. Okay, so I gotta come back. So your task is filling the number from your financial statement into the GFB report. So like in this specific example, you're gonna fill the number in column D. Okay, so this one, for this spreadsheet, I have export the report, like the profit and loss, the income statement from Wave, and what I need to do is to make sure that all the number here appear in here. Yeah, so this is the basic task. So the first things that I need to do is to make the parallelly, like the parallel number. So remember about the thermometer with Celsius and Fahrenheit. So we put things parallelly. So here, for example, we have the code. Yeah. So for this part, I'm gonna do the simulation with revenue. The same rule apply for expense, for the cost, for liability, for asset also. So in GFB currently, the way that we have come up with equity is using the asset minus liability. So we do not have equity because it's in formula. So we put this one, and we make sure that, like, we have the code here aligned with the account here. So let's do, for example, we have here the entity affiliation fee, revenue internal. So we have entity affiliation fee internal, which the code of 11. So we put 11 here. Actually, for this one, you can do it, how to say, like by formula also, but to make it simple, so I'll do it manually. For the way that do it like by formula, or if you want to know, I can like explain to you in person actually, but it's gonna make a little bit complicated if I illustrate here. So just do it a little bit manually. So we have direct exchange revenue from OGE. Here we have OGE direct, number 6. So we have number 6. We have OGV number 2. We have IGT number 3. IGV number 1. We have OGT number 4. We have IGE number 5. And we have BDCR partnership CER. Okay, so it's number 7. And we have other income, which is other revenue, and it's number 13. Okay, so the first task is to put the code and number which is parallel with it, like parallel with the chart of account in your accounting system. Again, this chart of account is the new one that I have taken from I said in Vietnam, and it's somehow like the chart of account is somehow aligned with the chart of account of GFB. However, we still have, like, for example, looking at this. This is the old chart of account, and like, for example, you can see the terminology here is quite old actually. So the task that you classify which one is which one, for example, GCDBTN realization, which mean IGB, yeah. So you need to like interpret really carefully. So this is the like your own or like the old chart of account. So we come back with the more easier one, but I have just mentioned to you that there's still a lot of situation that we might encounter. Okay, so we come back with this one. So the task is to again put this number into this number and make sure that like the order is still the same. Oh my god, sorry. Okay, so the number is still the same. So the first way that I'm using is using the VLOOKUP function. So we keep the cell that we need the information, and we have equal VLOOKUP. So the first one that we have to fill in is the lookup value. So we use this one as lookup values. Okay, and then comma, and we have table array. So which is the table that we looking for the values. So we come to the profit and loss, and we look for the table from B to D. So from B to D we have 3 columns. So the next values that we need to put in is column index number. So we type 3, and then we have 2 options, but usually we have choose for approximate match and form for exact match. So for this one we usually use true, which has the short abbreviation of 0, and then we close and we enter. So see, we have the number, the values, which is the direct exchange revenue from IGV. So it's 20 million something. So we can come back here and we can see, yeah, it's 20 million something. So that's how we take the account or like the values. So we use the same, like the same formula, and we copy for all of this part. We just double click and then it appear. For the NA1, yeah, so you can see that for the NA1 is number 8. The code is number 8, and here we do not have code for number 8. Yes, so it's kind of no, like they try to find the VLOOKUP function, try to work, but it cannot find any value, so it appears as NA. So for this one, to simplify, you can make it 0. But make sure that you need to fill like all of this part, so that it will not like eliminate any values. Okay, so it's 0, 0. Yeah, so do the same as below. You just need to double click, and then it appear like the lower row will be the same as the starting cells. Okay, so this one we use for VLOOKUP function. The second function that we can use is the SumIf function. So we come to the cells that we need to put the values in, and we use SumIf function. So we have equal SumIf, and then first we need the sum range, which is the range that contains the values in your original profit and loss statement. And then we have criteria range. So again, the range that contains the values that we can use the criteria, which is the column B, and then we choose the criteria. So we come back here and we choose the criteria, which is the code that we are using. Okay, so we close and then enter. So we have the result like the same as previously as the VLOOKUP function. So yeah. Oh. So you can see the differences between VLOOKUP and the differences between SumIf and VLOOKUP is that when you use VLOOKUP, it's like the Excel cannot find the values, it's gonna appear as NA. But for SumIf, because like the way that it's come up with the result is by summing all the different values. So if there's no values, the result gonna be 0. Okay, but let's do this. For example, we still have, okay, we still have, okay, here, for example, we have the formula already here in cell D20. We have direct exchange cost of OGT. Let's find whether we have that. Oh no, we have OGV, so let's come back. Direct exchange cost of OGV with the code of 15. So let's see, if we put the code of 15 here, like right in front of this cell in your original financial report, we have 15. So look at in the other side, yeah, so the result gonna appear over there. See, it's 2,300,000. Okay, so that's the way that you use to get the values and make sure that like the templates keep the same. And the last function that I gonna introduce to you is the pivot table function. So pivot table function is used to make sure that you have the like the financial report or like the result in your original one has matched with the total value here. For example, you put a lot of number here, but you're not sure whether on the revenue is appear here. So you need to double check and you need to make sure that everything aligned. Usually in any like report function of any accounting software, they usually have the sum value for you so that it can be easier for you to see here. For example, it's automatically from Wave to have the total revenue here. But whether all of the values here is appearing here, you need to double check. So we like pivot table gonna help you in this. So first we need to like grouping what type of GFB account that belong to a certain like group, which is parallel to this one. Okay, so here they have revenue in one group, cost of goods sold in one group, operating expense in one group, and then the rest is just the formula between. Okay, so I gonna like use the revenue as an example. So we need to grouping this like all of these account into the account that belong to the same group as your report. But basically we have 4 types, but here we have 4 main types that we need to group. So we insert, we insert column here, okay? And for this column we're gonna like grouping the account. But again, totally GFB chart of account just have 112 accounts, and along that we have certain accounts for like any type or like any subcategory. So it's really easy for you to remember, because compare with what you have studied from university, it's a lot of account and it's a little bit complicated, but in ISEC it's super simple. And the same thing as you come to work also, you study a lot, you learn a lot, but when it's come to certain organization or certain business, they just usually use certain chart of like certain account only. Okay, so I come back with the task of grouping the account into the category. So here we type at category. Oh, and again, make sure that you have the filter feature in here. Okay, I gotta come back with no filter, and then I gotta show you how to filter it again. So for example, usually for GFP chart account, you're gonna have something like this. So choose the area, yeah, and then down, and then come to data and then filter. Okay, so this is the first task. The second task is filter the chart of account. So you fill the GFB code and then you choose the asset. So we have this one A, and then so we enter. So all of the asset account will be sorted. So totally we have 30 asset account. So we type asset and then enter. Okay, so we copy by Control C, and then we pass with the last one, Control V. But remember this, I encourage you to use Control C and Control Shift down and then Control D. So the differences between using Control D and Control V is, for example, like this in this area. You look at this. So after you filter, there's still a lot of value like in between this area. Look at like my arrow, this area. But if you use Control V, this area will filter by asset also. But if you use Control D, so the area in between this will appear as blank. Okay, so we come back with first we have asset, and then liability we have L minus, and then okay. Okay, so we have liability. And then doing the same thing, Control C, Control Shift down, Control D. Okay, continue with revenue. So revenue, Control C and then Control V, Control C, Control Shift down and then Control D. So totally we have 28 revenue accounts for GFB, and the last part is the cost. Yeah. So we have cost, which is expense. Oh, we can use cost actually. So Control C, Control V. Yeah, okay. So we unclear by data and then clear everything. So on the category is field. You can see on the category is field. Actually, we have one equity account here. Equity, yeah, but it's like it's categorized or it's coded as assets, so we can use equity and then equity. Okay, so we clear. So the next part is to make sure that whether on the revenue, like total revenue, is matched with the total revenue in your own profit and loss. So we choose the area that we need to make the pivot table, which is from A to E and then edit down. So we choose this area and then we insert, come to insert, and then insert pivot table. But remember, before, if you want to insert pivot table, make sure that on of the head column that is how to say, like it's filled with the number. In case it's blank, you cannot create pivot table. So I gonna create on one. Yeah, so we're okay. So it's appear at another sheet. But let me do it, delete and do it again without any, how to say, like any head column, and then we do the same thing. So you cannot like in pivot table. Okay. Oh wait. Okay, fine. Category. Okay, so we have pivot here. I don't know why, but it still works. Previously it could not work. Anyway, so for oh, it just choose the code, like from code to like, yeah, from code to quarter 3. But let me do it again. Okay, we choose the category. So we insert pivot table, and then we okay, and then they have pivot. Okay, so we choose the category. We drop the category into the row. So here, usually I don't prefer the clearness, so just erase it. Okay, so we have on of the category here, and we can choose the value. So put the value from quarter 3 into down here. Usually they will appear as count first, but we should choose value field setting, and then we have the sum, and then yeah, here we have okay. So we have the value for revenue, which is 700 700 million something, and we come back here and we see, yeah, so the value is equal. So everything you do for the revenue part is 100% correct. Okay, so that basically about the Excel tips that you are using. And I think this one actually is require a lot of practice, again, as always. And yeah, just by practicing. But let me know if you have any concern or like related to this one. Do it again and again, gonna help you a lot in reviewing or like in mastermizing the skill. So yeah, we're gonna come back with the slide. So practice is the one of the very like big advantage and privilege. So yeah, just start right away from numbers. So for this task, I have 5 accounts which come from certain MC or like certain entity. So this is type of expense of income that appear in certain chart of account that particular entity, particular MC using. So we need to match this account with GFB account. You got what I mean? I think that I'm gonna share again. The chart of account. Okay. Okay, here. Okay, so here we have GFB chart of account again. We have 112 accounts. What you need to do is to match like this account in column B in the spreadsheet with GFB account in column D in the GFB chart of account. So yeah, everyone got what I say, or what is the requirement of the playing time.
Thank you so much for him explaining the tips and tricks. Any questions you might have, so you can just contact me